What if I told you that your monthly budget could stretch 10 times further just by changing your location? That the coffee you pay $5 for could cost 50 cents? That a beachfront apartment might be cheaper than your current studio? Today, we're traveling across 5 continents to discover the 20 cheapest countries to live in the world. These aren't just affordable destinations, they're places where people are building incredible lives, retiring in comfort, launching businesses, and experiencing cultures that most travelers only dream about. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly where your money goes furthest, what life actually costs in these countries, and which one might be your perfect match. Let's dive in. Country 20, Poland. We're starting our countdown in Central Europe with Poland, a country that's become the hidden gem of affordable European living. Picture this. You're walking through Krakow's medieval old town, stopping at a milk bar, yes, that's what they call their traditional restaurants, where a full homemade meal costs just $3. Your modern one-bedroom apartment in the city center? About $450 a month. Poland offers something rare: Western European infrastructure and safety at a fraction of the cost. The healthcare system is excellent. Public transportation runs like clockwork, and the internet speed rivals anywhere in the world. Digital nomads have been flooding into cities like Warsaw and Gdansk, finding co-working spaces, thriving expat communities, and a quality of life that punches well above its price tag. A comfortable lifestyle in Poland runs about $800 to $1,200 monthly. You get 4 distinct seasons, access to the entire European Union, and cities that blend Gothic architecture with modern innovation. The local cuisine, pierogi, żurek, bigos, is hearty and delicious, and the craft beer scene rivals Germany's at a third of the price. The catch? Winters are long and cold, and while young Poles speak excellent English, the older generation might not. But for those seeking European living without the European price tag, Poland delivers remarkably well. Country 19, Romania. Moving southeast, Romania is Europe's best-kept secret for affordable living. And honestly, it's shocking more people haven't caught on yet. Bucharest, the capital, has earned the nickname Little Paris, but your cappuccino here costs €1 instead of $5. A spacious 2-bedroom apartment in a good neighborhood runs about $400 monthly. High-speed internet, which Romania is famous for having among the fastest in the world, costs around $10 a month. But Romania isn't just about cheap prices. This is a country where medieval castles aren't tourist traps. They're part of the landscape. Transylvania isn't just Dracula marketing, it's rolling hills, fortified churches, and villages that time forgot. The Carpathian Mountains offer hiking, skiing, and scenery that rivals the Alps. Living costs here average $700 to $1,000 monthly for a comfortable lifestyle. Healthcare is affordable and increasingly modern, especially in major cities. The food culture is phenomenal. Sarmal, maisi, kazanak, influenced by Turkish, Hungarian, and Slavic traditions. The challenges: bureaucracy can be frustrating, and infrastructure outside major cities needs work. But the Romanian people are warm, the country is safe, and you're still in the EU with access to all of Europe. For remote workers and retirees seeking old-world charm with modern amenities, Romania is quietly perfect. Country 18, Bulgaria. Continuing in the Balkans, Bulgaria offers something special: affordable living with access to both mountains and beaches. Sofia, the capital, sits at the foot of Vitosha Mountain, where you can ski in winter and hike in summer, all while living in a city where your monthly expenses might total $800. Rent for a 1-bedroom apartment in the center? About $300. A meal at a good restaurant? $5 including a beer. But Bulgaria's real magic happens along the Black Sea coast. Towns like Varna and Burgas offer beachfront living at prices that seem fictional. Retirees from across Europe have been relocating here for years, creating thriving international communities while maintaining that authentic Bulgarian character. The country has been part of the EU since 2007, meaning you get European standards of governance, safety, and consumer protection at Balkan prices. The healthcare system is good and incredibly cheap. A doctor's visit without insurance might cost $15. Bulgarian cuisine deserves its own documentary. Shopska salad, banitsa, kebabche, and yogurt that Bulgaria claims to have invented. The wine regions produce excellent vintages at laughable prices, and the Rose Valley produces the world's finest rose oil. Challenges include a declining population, some bureaucratic hurdles, and limited English outside tourist areas and Sofia. Winters can be harsh in the north, though the south stays milder. But for those seeking European living with traditional values and rock-bottom costs, Bulgaria is extraordinary. Country 17, Argentina. Crossing to South America, Argentina presents a complex but compelling case for affordable living, particularly right now. Economic instability has created unusual opportunities. Buenos Aires, one of the world's most sophisticated cities, has become remarkably affordable for those earning foreign currency. A stylish apartment in Palermo or Recoleta might cost $400 to $600 monthly. A world-class steak dinner with Malbec wine? $15. This is a country of dramatic contrasts. Buenos Aires feels European. Wide boulevards, Belle Epoque architecture, literary cafes, and a tango culture that permeates everything. But drive a few hours and you're in wine country, or gaucho territory, or heading toward Patagonia's otherworldly landscapes. Living costs vary wildly depending on the exchange rate, but generally run $800 to $1,200 monthly for a good lifestyle. The culture is rich. Football isn't a sport here, it's a religion. The art scene rivals any major world capital. The people are passionate, opinionated, and remarkably welcoming. The challenges are real. Inflation can be severe, political instability affects daily life, and bureaucracy is legendary. But for those who can handle uncertainty and have stable foreign income, Argentina offers a quality of life that's hard to match. The Italian-influenced cuisine, the wine culture, the late-night lifestyle, it's intoxicating. Country 16, Colombia. Colombia has undergone one of the most remarkable transformations of any country in the past 2 decades, evolving from a place people feared to visit into a digital nomad paradise. Medellin, once the world's most dangerous city, is now called the City of Eternal Spring for its perfect year-round climate. Modern apartments with mountain views cost $400 to $600 monthly. The metro system, the only one in Colombia, is clean, efficient, and cheap. Co-working spaces and startup hubs have exploded, creating a thriving international community. But Colombia isn't just Medellin. Cartagena offers Caribbean beaches and colonial charm. Bogotá is a sprawling capital with world-class museums and restaurants. The coffee region produces the beans you drink every morning, and you can tour plantations while staying in haciendas. Monthly living costs run $800 to $1,300 for a comfortable lifestyle. Healthcare is excellent and cheap. Colombia is a major medical tourism destination. The food scene blends indigenous, Spanish, and African influences into something unique. Arepas, bandeja paisa, ajiaco, and tropical fruits you've never heard of. The people are famously friendly, though safety varies by neighborhood and city. Spanish is essential. English isn't widely spoken outside tourist zones and expat areas. But the salsa culture, the biodiversity, the climate, and the affordability make Colombia one of the most exciting places in the Americas right now. Country 15, Nicaragua. Nicaragua is Central America's most affordable country, offering colonial beauty and Pacific beaches at prices that seem impossible. Granada, one of the oldest Spanish colonial cities in the Americas, features colorful architecture and lakeside living, where your monthly budget might be just $700. A large colonial house can be rented for $400 monthly. Fresh fish from the Pacific, tropical fruits, and local meals cost $1 or $2. The Pacific coast offers surf towns like San Juan del Sur, where the waves are consistent and the lifestyle is relaxed. Ometepe Island, formed by 2 volcanoes in Lake Nicaragua, provides adventures that feel like stepping back in time. Political instability and infrastructure challenges are real concerns. Healthcare is basic, and many expats maintain insurance that covers evacuation if needed. English is limited, and tourist infrastructure is less developed than neighboring Costa Rica. But for adventurous souls seeking the road less traveled, Nicaragua offers authenticity and affordability. The expat community is small but tight-knit, and you feel like you're discovering something special. Country 14, Egypt. Egypt brings ancient wonders and modern affordability together in ways that continuously surprise visitors who decide to stay. While Cairo is chaotic and polluted, it's also vibrant and incredibly cheap. Apartments overlooking the Nile cost $300 to $500 monthly. The Red Sea resort towns, Hurghada, Dahab, Sharm el-Sheikh, offer beach living with world-class diving at a fraction of Mediterranean prices. Living costs in Egypt run $500 to $900 monthly. Street food is delicious and costs pennies. Koshari, full madames, tamea. The produce markets overflow with fresh vegetables, and the bread is subsidized and costs almost nothing. The culture is ancient and rich, though conservative and traditional. As a foreign resident, you'll navigate between tourist Egypt and local Egypt, finding your place in between. Healthcare quality varies dramatically. Excellent private hospitals in Cairo, basic facilities elsewhere. The challenges include intense bureaucracy, gender dynamics that can be difficult especially for women, and infrastructure that ranges from modern to crumbling. But the history, living near the pyramids, exploring Luxor and Aswan, diving in the Red Sea, creates daily experiences that are genuinely extraordinary. Country 13, Philippines. The Philippines offers 7,641 islands, and scattered among them are some of the world's most affordable tropical paradises. Manila is hectic and crowded, but secondary cities like Cebu, Davao, and Dumaguete offer modern amenities at developing world prices. Beach towns like Siargao, El Nido, and Coron provide the postcard-perfect tropical lifestyle. A beachfront cottage might cost $200 monthly, a feast of fresh seafood and rice $5. Monthly living costs run $700 to $1,200 depending on location and lifestyle. Healthcare is good in major cities, with many doctors trained in the U.S. The country is the third largest English-speaking nation in the world, making it exceptionally easy for English speakers to navigate. Filipino culture is warm and family-oriented, heavily influenced by Spanish colonization and American occupation. The food blends Asian, Spanish, and indigenous traditions. Adobo, sinigang, lechon, and the tropical fruit selection is incredible. Challenges include typhoons, earthquake risk, infrastructure gaps, and political complexity. Island hopping is part of life here, which is romantic until you need reliable logistics. But the beaches, the diving, the cost, and the welcoming people make the Philippines a perennial favorite for expats and retirees. Country 12, Indonesia. The Philippines offers 7,641 islands, and scattered among them are some of the world's most affordable tropical paradises. Manila is hectic and crowded, but secondary cities like Cebu, Davao, and Dumaguete offer modern amenities at developing world prices. Beach towns like Siargao, El Nido, and Coron provide the postcard-perfect tropical lifestyle. A beachfront cottage might cost $200 monthly, a feast of fresh seafood and rice $5. Monthly living costs run $700 to $1,200 depending on location and lifestyle. Healthcare is good in major cities, with many doctors trained in the U.S. The country is the third largest English-speaking nation, making it exceptionally easy for English speakers. Filipino culture is warm and family-oriented, influenced by Spanish colonization and American occupation. The food blends Asian, Spanish, and indigenous traditions: adobo, sinigang, lechon, and the tropical fruit selection is incredible. Challenges include typhoons, earthquake risk, infrastructure gaps, and political complexity. Island hopping is romantic until you need reliable logistics, but the beaches, the diving, the cost, and the welcoming people make the Philippines a favorite for expats. Country 11, Nepal. Nepal offers something unique: mountain majesty and spiritual depth at costs that make long-term living genuinely feasible. Kathmandu is chaotic, dusty, and captivating. A medieval city where Hindu temples and Buddhist stupas crowd narrow streets. But venture to Pokhara, sitting beside a lake with Annapurna reflected in its waters, and you find peace. A simple apartment costs $150 to $300 monthly. Dal bhat, the national dish, costs about $1. Living costs in Nepal run an astonishing $400 to $700 monthly. This includes rent, food, transportation, and even the occasional trek. Healthcare in Kathmandu has improved significantly, with several quality hospitals serving both locals and expats. The culture is deeply spiritual, a blend of Hinduism and Buddhism, creating daily rituals, festivals, and a worldview that prioritizes different values than Western materialism. The Nepali people are famously friendly, though life moves at a different pace. The Himalayas dominate everything. Weekend treks to villages, circuits around Annapurna or Everest Base Camp. The mountains aren't just scenery, they're why many stay. Challenges include pollution in Kathmandu, infrastructure gaps, political instability, and limited amenities. But for those seeking meaning, mountains, and minimal costs, Nepal is transformative. Country 10, Pakistan. Pakistan rarely appears on affordable living lists, which is exactly why it deserves attention. This is one of the world's most underrated and misunderstood countries. The north of Pakistan, Hunza Valley, Gilgit-Baltistan, Swat Valley, offers mountain beauty that rivals Switzerland at prices that seem imaginary. A comfortable house in a mountain town costs $100 to $200 monthly. Street food in Lahore or Karachi costs pennies. Living costs in Pakistan run $300 to $600 monthly for a lifestyle that includes domestic help, which most middle-class Pakistanis employ. The food culture is extraordinary. Biryani, nihari, karahi, Sikh kebabs, and the hospitality is legendary. Strangers will invite you home for tea, then insist you stay for dinner. Major cities like Islamabad, Lahore, and Karachi have modern sectors with excellent restaurants, shopping, and healthcare. The middle and upper classes live comfortably with all modern conveniences. The challenges are significant. Security concerns vary by region, conservative social values, especially regarding women, infrastructure inconsistencies, and limited tourist infrastructure. This isn't a country for beginners, and solo female travelers face real challenges. But for adventurous individuals, particularly men or couples willing to respect local customs, Pakistan offers incredible value, stunning beauty, and encounters with a culture that few Westerners truly understand. Country 9, Georgia. The Republic of Georgia, the country, not the state, has become the darling of digital nomads for good reason. It combines European sophistication, Soviet-era charm, and Asian affordability with possibly the world's most generous visa policy. Tbilisi, the capital, is a city of contradictions. Ornate Orthodox churches beside Soviet brutalism, cobblestone old town beside glass and steel developments. A modern apartment in a good neighborhood costs $300 to $500 monthly. Wine flows freely because Georgia invented winemaking 8,000 years ago, and a bottle costs $3. The Remotely from Georgia program allows digital nomads to live visa-free for a year with straightforward extensions. The country has embraced remote workers, with co-working spaces and startup culture flourishing. Monthly costs run $700 to $1,100 for comfortable living. Healthcare is improving rapidly with new private facilities in Tbilisi. The food, khachapuri, kinkali, lobio, is carb-heavy, delicious, and cheap. The Caucasus Mountains provide skiing, hiking, and villages where traditions persist unchanged. The Black Sea coast offers summer beach living. The people are warm, and toasting culture turns every dinner into celebration. Challenges include language barriers, Georgian uses its own unique alphabet, and occasional political tensions with Russia. But Georgia's combination of affordability, beauty, culture, and visa friendliness makes it exceptional. Country 8, Bolivia. Bolivia is South America's poorest country and one of its most fascinating, offering landscapes and experiences that defy description, at prices that defy belief. La Paz, the world's highest capital city, clings to canyon walls with views of snow-capped peaks. The cable car system connects neighborhoods vertically, and a ride costs about 30 cents. A decent apartment runs $200 to $400 monthly. Street food costs less than $1 per meal. But Bolivia's appeal isn't urban, it's the surreal landscapes. The Uyuni salt flats create endless white expanses that trick perception. Lake Titicaca, the world's highest navigable lake, holds floating islands and pre-Incan ruins. The Amazon basin offers jungle adventures. Living costs run $500 to $800 monthly. Healthcare is basic. Serious issues require travel to Chile or Peru. Infrastructure is limited, and reliable services elsewhere can be unreliable here. The culture is deeply indigenous. Quechua and Aymara languages and traditions dominate. This is authentic, unpolished South America, not the cosmopolitan versions in neighboring countries. Bolivia isn't for everyone. It requires flexibility, humor about dysfunction, and comfort with altitude. La Paz sits at 3,640 meters, causing altitude sickness for many. But for adventurous souls seeking the path less traveled, Bolivia offers unmatched value and experiences. Country 7, Cambodia. Cambodia has emerged from a tragic past to become one of Southeast Asia's most welcoming and affordable destinations for foreign residents. Phnom Penh, the capital, is chaotic and charming in equal measure. The riverfront is lined with cafes and colonial architecture. A modern apartment costs $300 to $500 monthly. Siem Reap, home to Angkor Wat, offers a more relaxed pace with easy access to one of the world's most magnificent archaeological sites. But Cambodia's real appeal for long-term residents is the beach towns. Sihanoukville has changed dramatically with Chinese investment, but islands like Koh Rong maintain paradise vibes. Kampot offers riverside living, pepper plantations, and a growing expat arts community. Monthly costs run $700 to $1,200 depending on lifestyle. The US dollar is the de facto currency, eliminating exchange rate concerns. Visas are straightforward. Business visas can be extended indefinitely. Khmer culture is warm and resilient. The food blends Thai and Vietnamese influences with its own character. Fish amok, beef lak lak, nom bon chok. The tropical fruit selection is incredible and prices are minimal. Healthcare has improved but remains limited outside Phnom Penh. Infrastructure is developing but inconsistent. The scars of the Khmer Rouge era remain visible and painful. But Cambodia's combination of ancient wonders, tropical beauty, genuine affordability, and easy visa policies make it a favorite for retirees and digital nomads throughout Asia. Country 6, Laos. Landlocked Laos moves at a different pace than its neighbors, offering tranquil living and spiritual richness at prices that make long-term residence almost effortless. Luang Prabang, a UNESCO World Heritage City, is where saffron-robed monks collect alms at dawn, French colonial villas house cafes and boutique hotels, and the Mekong River flows past jungle-covered hills. A comfortable house costs $300 to $500 monthly. A meal of sticky rice and lap, the national dish, costs $2. Vientiane, the capital, barely feels like a capital. It's more like a large, relaxed town with ministries. The pace is slow, the people are gentle, and the atmosphere is decidedly unurban. Living costs run $600 to $1,000 monthly. Healthcare is limited. Serious cases go to Thailand. Infrastructure is basic. This isn't a country for those needing constant stimulation or modern conveniences. But Laos offers something increasingly rare: peace. Buddhism infuses daily life, creating a different relationship with time and stress. The countryside is stunning. Waterfalls, caves, mountains, and villages where traditions continue unchanged. The challenges include limited amenities, language barriers, and bureaucratic unpredictability. But for those seeking simplicity, natural beauty, and a gentle culture at minimal cost, Laos is exceptional. This is living simply, slowly, and affordably in one of Asia's last truly tranquil corners. Country 5. India. India defies simple categorization. It's a continent disguised as a country where your experience and costs vary dramatically based on where you settle. Goa has attracted foreign residents for decades. Portuguese colonial architecture, beaches, a relaxed atmosphere, and unusual tolerance. A beachside apartment costs $300 to $500 monthly. Kerala offers backwaters, Ayurvedic treatments, and a progressive society. Himachal Pradesh provides mountain living and Buddhist influence in towns like Dharamshala and Manali. Living costs run from $400 monthly in smaller towns to $1,000 for comfortable urban living. This includes domestic help, which is common and affordable. Healthcare varies enormously. World-class private hospitals in major cities, basic clinics elsewhere. The food culture alone justifies residence. Infinite regional variations, vegetarian cuisine that makes meat unnecessary, and spices that transform every meal. Street food costs pennies. Fine dining costs $10. India is intense. The crowds, the noise, the poverty, the bureaucracy, the pollution, it overwhelms many. But it's also deeply spiritual, historically rich, intellectually vibrant, and offers choices from beach bum to mountain yogi to urban professional. Visas can be complex, and permanent residence is difficult. But for those who handle the chaos and find their corner of this vast country, India offers extraordinary value and experiences that change perspectives fundamentally. Country 4. Vietnam. Vietnam has become the darling of Southeast Asian expat living, combining French colonial charm, dynamic economic growth, and costs that remain remarkably low despite rapid development. Ho Chi Minh City in the south pulses with entrepreneurial energy, startups, international restaurants, rooftop bars, and a skyline that grows taller every year. Hanoi in the north offers more traditional culture, four seasons, and a literary cafe scene. But the real gems are mid-sized cities. Da Nang with its beaches and mountains, Hoi An with its lantern-lit ancient town, Hue with its imperial history. A modern apartment in a good neighborhood costs $400 to $700 monthly. Street food is legendary and costs about $2 per meal. Pho, Banh Mai, Bun Cha, Khao Lao. Coffee culture is serious here. Vietnam is the world's second largest coffee producer. Monthly living costs run $700 to $1,300 for a comfortable lifestyle. Healthcare is improving rapidly with international standard hospitals in major cities. The internet is fast, co-working spaces are everywhere, and the digital nomad infrastructure is well developed. Vietnamese culture values education, entrepreneurship, and family. The people are hardworking and increasingly cosmopolitan. The history is complex. The war looms large but doesn't define modern Vietnam. Challenges include air pollution in cities, traffic that requires constant vigilance, and a one-party political system. Visas require planning, though the situation has improved. But Vietnam's combination of safety, affordability, delicious food, French-influenced aesthetics, and economic dynamism make it one of Asia's most compelling long-term destinations. Country 3. Thailand. Thailand isn't just affordable, it's the gold standard against which all other affordable countries are measured, offering perhaps the best combination of cost, quality of life, and infrastructure available anywhere. Bangkok is a sprawling megacity where modern skyscrapers tower over golden temples, street food vendors operate beside Michelin-starred restaurants, and the SkyTrain connects neighborhoods efficiently. Chiang Mai in the north offers mountains, a digital nomad scene that pioneered the lifestyle and a slower pace. The southern islands, Phuket, Koh Samui, Koh Phangan, provide every variation of beach living imaginable. A nice apartment in Bangkok costs $500 to $800 monthly. In Chiang Mai, the same space costs $300 to $500. Thai food is world-renowned and costs about $3 per meal on the street. $10 in nice restaurants? The massage culture means an hour of traditional Thai massage costs $7. Living costs run $800 to $1,500 monthly depending on location and lifestyle. Healthcare is excellent. Thailand is a major medical tourism destination, with hospitals that rival Western standards at a fraction of the cost. Thai culture emphasizes Sanuk, fun, and Mai Pen Rai, never mind, don't worry. The people have perfected the art of gracious hospitality. Buddhism creates a generally peaceful society. The food culture needs no introduction. It's simply one of the world's best. The challenges include visa runs or complex visa arrangements, pollution in Bangkok, and the fact that Thai paradise has been discovered. Popular areas are crowded, but Thailand's infrastructure, healthcare, food, safety, and value keep it at the top of affordable living rankings year after year. Country 2, Mexico. Mexico is the top destination for American and Canadian expats for compelling reasons. Proximity to home, incredible cultural richness, and a cost of living that makes early retirement genuinely feasible. The expat centers are well established. San Miguel de Allende and Guanajuato offer colonial architecture and art scenes. Playa del Carmen and Tulum provide Caribbean beaches and cenotes. Puerto Vallarta and Mazatlan offer Pacific sunsets and fishing culture. Merida and Yucatan is safe, cultural, and inexpensive. Mexico City is a world-class capital with everything metropolitan life offers. A nice apartment costs $500 to $900 monthly depending on location. Mexican food, real Mexican food, not the Tex-Mex version, is diverse, regional, and extraordinary. Healthcare is excellent and cheap. Many Americans cross the border for dental work and prescriptions that cost 10 times more at home. Living costs run $1,000 to $1,800 monthly for comfortable living, less in smaller cities. Temporary residence visas are straightforward, permanent residence is achievable, and proximity to the U.S. means you can visit family easily. Mexican culture is warm, family-oriented, and proudly independent. The festivals, the music, the art, Diego Rivera and Frida Kahlo are just the beginning. Create a richness that goes beyond affordability. The landscape ranges from deserts to jungles to mountains to beaches. The challenges include security concerns in specific areas, research is essential, and healthcare quality varies outside major cities. But millions of foreigners have built lives in Mexico, and the established infrastructure for expats makes transition easier than almost anywhere. Country 1, Portugal. Wait, Portugal is the cheapest country to live? Not quite. But let me explain why it's here. When we talk about affordable living, we can't ignore the value equation. What do you get for your money? And when we factor in quality of life, safety, healthcare, infrastructure, and cultural richness, Portugal offers extraordinary value, especially compared to other Western European nations. Lisbon and Porto have exploded in popularity, with prices rising accordingly. But venture to smaller cities, Coimbra, Braga, Aveiro, or the Algarve at outside peak season, and costs drop significantly. A comfortable apartment runs $600 to $900 monthly. Pastel de nata costs €1. Fresh fish, Portuguese wine, and produce from local markets make home cooking delicious and affordable. Living costs run $1,200 to $2,000 monthly, placing it at the higher end of our list. But consider what you're getting. Europe's safest country, excellent public health care, beautiful beaches and countryside, 300 days of sunshine annually, and a residence visa program designed to attract foreign retirees and remote workers. Portuguese culture is melancholic and beautiful. Fado music captures saudade, that uniquely Portuguese longing. The people are reserved but kind. The pace is slower than Northern Europe, and the history of maritime exploration permeates everything. The challenges include learning Portuguese, essential for integration despite widespread English in cities, and bureaucracy that can frustrate. Salaries are low for locals, but for those with foreign income or pensions, the value is exceptional. Portugal represents affordable living within the developed world, combining Western standards with Southern European costs and African-influenced sunshine.